Let me say this. We need to talk about the obsession with male validation. Like, what is the obsession with being perceived correctly by men? Why does the male opinion have to determine how you dress, how you look, what you post online, what you pursue, the career choices you even make in life? Like, why does that have to measure your worth? Decentering men isn't about hating them, okay? Like, it's not about avoiding relationships. It's about realizing that your life is yours first before any other person's opinion. In today's video, we're going to be talking about decentering men and how that is going to transform your life in ways you never imagined.
If you're a woman and you're currently stressed out over a man and what he's doing or what he's not doing, girl, you are not busy enough. I'm gonna need you to get into yourself, get into your career, your goals, your hobbies. Decenter that man.
My mother did not carry me in her stomach for 9 months for me to stress about whether some man is acting right. One of the biggest lessons that life has taught me recently is how to decenter the men in my life. For so long, I used to think that I wasn't enough without the man in my life, the best friend, whatever it is, whoever it is. I thought I wasn't enough on my own. The moment that I started trusting God to lead me and to trust myself is the moment that I stopped depending on them for happiness, validation, or safety of any kind. I didn't need them anymore. If you stop molding the man in your life to be exactly who you need him to be and just allow him to be whoever he is, let him do whatever he wants to do, you'll see who he really is, what he really wants. Then you can decide if that person's right for you or not. I know that I am whole with or without a man, so whether it works out or it doesn't, I trust my path ahead. What is for you will always find you.
This is the fastest way to decenter men from your life. And no, it's not deleting apps or focusing on yourself in the way that you think. Most women think that the reason why they can't stop thinking about a man is because they like him so much or he's special. But the truth is, you're not actually obsessed with him. You're attached to the feeling he gives you that you're not giving yourself. You're outsourcing your self-worth. When he texts you back, you feel chosen. When he starts to pull away, you feel rejected. Your mood changes based on how he treats you. That's not love, that's dependency. You've made him the center of your entire emotional world. You wake up thinking about him, you're analyzing everything, you're waiting for the next interaction. You could have a full day of fun things planned, and if you get one dry, slightly off message from him, that just sends you off. It just ruins your whole day. You're abandoning your own life for potential. You're so obsessed of what this relationship could be that you forget to focus on your own life. You forget about your purpose, you forget about your goals, you forget about your friendship because you're just so excited by it that you literally just forget about your own life. The moment you start meeting your own emotional needs is when he stops feeling so important. If you're trying to break this pattern, follow me. This is exactly what I teach.
When you start making decisions that make sense for your life, instead of because they will be more appealing to someone else, you start to center yourself because you're putting yourself back at the center of your own life. You ask yourself what you want, what makes you happy, what you're working towards, what your boundaries are, what kind of woman you want to become. You can love men without organizing your entire existence around them.
What they don't tell you about when you start decentering men in your life is that you'll stop being able to relate to so many people and so many different types of conversation. When I was constantly dating and constantly having crushes, I was able to relate to so many of my friends. I was able to relate to this larger cultural zeitgeist of single woman culture. Now that I've stopped dating and I've stopped centering men in my life, I really have very, very few, almost no people to relate to because people aren't posting about decentering men as much as they are about being single and wanting to date. So it makes the process of decentering men and pursuing dating a little bit more lonely and isolated. And it's just interesting.
Decentering men will change your goddamn life. And before anyone gets the wrong idea, this is not about hating men. It's also not about swearing off relationships. It simply means that men are no longer the center of your universe. They're no longer the prize. They're no longer the proof that you are worthy. They are no longer the thing that you are waiting for to make your life real. The truth is that women have been conditioned to center men without even realizing it. That can manifest in lots and lots of ways, including your mood, depending on whether he texts back, dressing for the male gaze, lowering your standards or dimming your light so you're more likely to be chosen, and then wondering why you feel anxious and unsettled and empty. But that feeling that there's some kind of void in your life is not because you're single. It's because you have been taught to outsource your worth. So when there's no man giving you attention, your brain goes, where's the proof that I'm okay? And that's the shift. Decentering men is about coming back to you. It's about realizing that you are the main storyline and the main character in your own goddamn life, and that your peace matters, your goals matter, and your life matters. And when you start living from that place, everything changes. You stop shape-shifting in order to be liked. You stop chasing, you stop settling. And instead of asking, do they like me? You start asking, do I like them? A romantic relationship should be an addition to your life, not the foundation of your self-worth. And when you truly get that, you finally stop waiting to be chosen and you choose yourself. Speaking of choosing yourself, if you are up for an adventure with a group of like-minded single women, including me, come and join us in Morocco this September for a trip that I'm hosting in collaboration with Explore Worldwide. We leave on the 12th of September for 11 nights, and it's going to be awesome. If this is calling to you, check out the details via the link in my bio.
It's time for you to decenter men and get your power back. And I'm going to give you some fun ways to do that. Respond to bare minimum effort with bare minimum interest. You are not the customer service line for his inconsistency. Stop asking, does he like me? And ask yourself, do I even respect him? That question will end 90% of your delusion. Start replying like you are paid by the hour. Slowly, casually, with zero urgency. Suddenly, he's the one refreshing the chat. Treat compliments from men like coupons. Nice, but unnecessary. You didn't ask for them and your self-esteem isn't redeeming them. Stop giving men the benefit of the doubt. Give them the benefit of distance. Space will tell you everything that enthusiasm doesn't. Turn his mixed signals into background noise. If he wants your attention, he can start speaking in full sentences. Answer the "what are you doing" texts with something extremely unsexy, like folding socks. Men lose their power when you stop caring about sounding interesting to them. Instead of overanalyzing everything he does and says, just assume he's not that deep. Your overthinking ends instantly. Peace restored. Replace "why hasn't he" with "do I even care?" 80% of the time, you don't. The other 20% was just habit. Let your high standards be known. If this puts him off and he walks away, great. The system is working. Treat every man you date like a time-limited trial. If the free version is glitchy, you're not buying the subscription. Stop laughing at jokes you don't find funny. Men lose half their magical powers when you stop fake giggling. Keep your roster emotionally empty and your life emotionally full. Friends, hobbies, therapy, brunch. That's the real big four. When speaking to a man, keep your dating life vague and your boundaries specific. Men don't need details. They need instructions. Do not ever explain a boundary twice. The moment you repeat it, you're negotiating. Don't. Every time you catch yourself thinking about him, get up and do something that makes you even hotter. Skincare, workouts, journaling, budgeting, whatever upgrades you. Replacing men with self-improvement is the most ethical substitution.
Love can be beautiful. In fact, love is a beautiful thing, but it shouldn't be the only exciting thing happening in your life. Because girl, build friendships, develop your career, learn skills, travel, create things, learn things, have hobbies, build financial independence, okay? Like, become so connected to your own life that romance becomes an addition, not your identity. You don't need male validation to prove that you're beautiful, interesting, successful, or worthy.
When women decenter men, they become insanely rich and powerful. Let me show you how. When I was in my 20s, I chose to decenter men for a couple years and I became a multimillionaire. I now have a business that's about to hit $5 million. And this is the exact reason why this happened. Women are the source. They are the energy outlet. They are whole. They contain all the energy, the creative energy, the life force inside of them. They hold the sacred portal in their own body. Men are the plugs, and they are looking for energy outlets to plug themselves into to siphon energy from. So men feel the best when they are connected to the feminine, when they are plugged in. How they can siphon her creative energy. Now, sexual energy and creative energy are the same exact thing. So when a woman says, I'm going to decenter men and not let them into my energy field, no texting, no intimacy, no nothing, because even getting into your emotions, getting into your head is siphoning your energy, then the woman is filled with her own energy. She no longer feels drained anymore. No one is siphoning her creativity, her power. She can put all that creative sexual energy into her mission, into building abundance for herself without anybody setting her on an emotional roller coaster. A lot of women that I see who have been in long-term marriages or relationships, they look and feel exhausted. And when men are in the vicinity of women, they feel alive, they feel more powerful, they are filled with the light that women carry. Now that I've built such an abundant and free life for myself, having a partner is just a great addition. It's fun. It doesn't feel like they're siphoning my creativity or my energy because I have such firm boundaries in place. So if you're a woman who's like, I want to become insanely successful, the best thing you can do is decenter men for a while.
Look, I may have decentered men, but if there's one thing I can tell you about them, one thing, they will test you. They will test you like a Scantron sheet, honey. They will test you to see where your self-esteem is ranked. High self-esteem is linked to high standards, high quality, high respect, high ranking, and to some degree, even higher learning. And that is a meter that you do not want to rank low in. The lower your self-esteem is, you finna get the doormat treatment. That's the best way I can put it. You will be treated like a doormat, and you will be picked for one thing and one thing only. That is the worst position you could ever be in as a woman. All this advice, all these women coming on these apps and telling you their stories, have you not learned, sweetheart? You need to have high self-esteem. Now, Camille, how does one get high self-esteem? What do I need to do? Tell me. You got to put your foot down. I don't care how tempting it is. I don't care how fun it looks or how fine he appears to be, or because by you saying no, you are letting him know that, hey, I'm not going to tolerate this. Whatever you're saying to me, whatever you're trying to get at, whatever your intentions are, it's not going to work here. It holds no merit, it holds no validity, and it holds absolutely no value or benefit to me as a woman. And I'm telling you, when you get to that point in your life as a recovering wounded feminine, I gotta tell you, the power I feel when I set boundaries, I feel so powerful, because that lets me know that I do the choosing. I choose who to give my energy to. I choose who I give my time to. Because with time and with energy, you can't get it back. You can't get a refund on it. Once you give it away, it's gone forever. And we only have so much time on this green and blue earth. Do not fail the test. I'm telling you, y'all, especially if you're a woman. And this is going to sound so bad when I say this, but here we go. When you set boundaries with people, especially with men, they will respect you because they thought that they had the power to get what they want from you. But once they realize in that moment, after you set those boundaries, that it's not going to work, well, they have no other choice. They have no other choice but to respect you. And believe it or not, it has worked every single time with me. This is just with anybody, regardless of who they are, because with boundaries, respect follows. Especially if you are a woman who commands respect, who understands and acknowledges her values, is intentional, and every room that she enters, she wants to create impact. It is imperative, because I'm telling you, you will get tested when you talk to a man. Okay? Even if you're having a conversation in good faith and it's going well, he's gonna weave it into the conversation. And it is on you to have that discernment and to be 10 steps ahead and to just clock that immediately. Having high self-esteem is a built-in life guide. It's a built-in life tool that so many women forget even existed within them. And it is on her to unlock that and to build up the repertoire so that in that way, she can protect herself accordingly.
Ladies, men's primary focus is not relationships. They are biologically selfish. And they can come in the comments here and deny it until they're blue in the face. But this is the facts. And the quicker you realize this as a woman, the happier you will be in this life. Once you realize that a man does not give an F about you, you will be happier as a woman. When you start to think this way, you will naturally prioritize yourself. And that is something that as women we should have done many years ago. We should have done centuries ago. And I don't just mean being out here for survival. No, I mean really decentering men and centering ourselves. Men's primary focus is not relationships. It's career, status, and personal goals. Where's relationships in that? Doesn't exist. Because men don't center their lives around relationships. In fact, they see relationships as just like an addition, as something that's just kind of there, lingering. They don't go out seeking relationships. They go out seeking pleasure. Oh yeah. And we're gonna trigger some men today because they're not gonna like that. Oh no, we care about love. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. And the younger you realize this as a girl as well, by the way, the happier you will be. Because ladies, men do not give an F about you, and they never will. Because they are not wired to care about you. They are wired to feel fulfillment through doing things like providing and protecting. They get a hit of dopamine from doing those things. So when they take care of you and they do these manly things that they are supposed to do, that are their duties, they get a hit of dopamine. The happy hormones, they feel good. That's it. That's as far as it goes with a man. He's never going to feel anything else for you. He's not going to feel that undenying love that you've been taught in the fairy tales, that we've been taught as young girls growing up, that, you know, there's Prince Charming. There was nothing charming about Prince Charming. And all the princesses, they were silenced. They had to sacrifice things in order to be princesses. They were controlled. They were watched. The fairy tales really aren't fairy tales. And the quicker you realize this, the happier you will be in life. And you will stop putting your life on pause and wasting all your good years. When men don't care about you, they don't care about you. They don't. They've showed you consistently, time after time, that they don't care about you. They don't care about women. Men only respect other men. When has a man ever really valued your opinion? I'll wait. When has a man ever valued your opinion? Oh, but if his friend said the same thing to him that you said to him, he would take his friend's advice. He would listen to his friend. He would value his friend's view above yours. But yet you still want to sit here and be like, oh, no, like my man like really cares about me, and he really listens to me, and he really, you know, like listens to what I've got to say, and he cares about what I have to say. Does he? Does he? Or is he just doing it because he feels like he has to and he wants a happy life? Ladies, wake up and smell the coffee. Men do not give an F about you, and they never will. And I'm saying that not to be horrible and not to be mean. And I have been targeted on here. I get hateful DMs by these triggered men, but you know what? I don't care. I continue to post this content, and I continue to send out this message, because this is a safe space for women to finally find their voice and find their power.
So what I'm just trying to say is that decentering men doesn't mean closing yourself off to love. It means refusing to make validations the foundation of your identity, like the male validation, the foundation of your own identity in life. You're going to build yourself, you're going to dress up for yourself, you're going to learn for yourself, you're going to travel for yourself, you're going to grow for yourself. And if love comes along the way, it's going to complement every other thing that you have done for yourself in life. So if you've made it to the end of this video, do well to like, subscribe, share to your friends. I would love to hear your thoughts so much in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.